Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of this design. It was done using Loren Sherman's fan-made script, which uses a combination of dots and lines on these 4 different stems to make our consonants, and vowels are a bit trickier. They're smaller circles, and their position is different depending on what vowel they are, so like an A is towards the outside, and O is towards the inside, and E's, I's, U's, same position, except I's and U's have lines. And also, they are different depending on if they're enclosed on one of these 4 consonant stems. So let's take a look at the E. So this is the E by itself, just on the line of the word circle. This is a B stem with an E enclosed on it. This is a J stem with an E enclosed on it, and this is a T stem with an E on it, and a TH stem with an E on it. So anyway, let's go ahead and look at our design. It makes the most sense in practice, and let's give it a read through. So this script is read bottom counterclockwise, and if you imagine an infinitely large circle, bottom counterclockwise would simply be left to right. So that's how this kind of works out logically from reading left to right. So anyway, bottom counterclockwise just be like an infinitely shallow arc. Anyway, so here we have our first word, second word, third word, fourth word, fifth word, sixth word, seventh word, eighth word. So we have, this is our first word, like I said. This isn't a word, there's nothing on it, it's just a line. But anyway, here's our first letter of our word. So this is a shallow divot in this row, and it's got 1, 2, 3 lines ending on it. So this line, and this line. So that makes it an S. And then we have this arc, which has a line passing through it, but that doesn't count. Only lines that end on it count. So if this line were to have stopped here and started again here, it would count here, but it doesn't. So this has nothing modifying it, so that's just a T. And then we have a little circle inside the word circle, so that's an O. And then we have a shallow divot with 1, 2, 3 dots on it, so that is an R. Now we have a vowel with a line going towards the middle, so that's an I. And then we have an E, doesn't have a line, same position as the I. So E, and then we have this. This is a bit tricky because I have my lines doing weird things, but let's just look at the stem and look at what ends on it. So there's 1 ending on it, 2 ending on it, 3 ending on it. So this line goes from here to here, and this line goes from here to here. So that's an S. So S-T-O-R-I-E-S, so stories. Here's our next word, bottom of it. Here's an A. Continuing around here, we have a shallow divot with find the dots. 1, 2, 3 dots, all closer to the stem than anything else. So that is an R. And then we have this enclosed inside that stem. And again, the vowels can be bigger, especially if they're enclosed inside a consonant, because you can't have 2 different stems stacked unless one's a vowel, one's a consonant. So the full circle is always the vowel, yay, because these are always full circles. Anyway, so here we have the E, because it's right on the line of the word circle, like this, as opposed to an A, which would be outside the line of the word circle. So anyway, here's the E. So R. Here's our next word. This one, the order I kind of, am borderline. So here's the bottom. And this stem does overlap with the bottom. So this would be the first stem you would read here, because it does overlap with the bottom. And it's a shallow divot with 1 dot on it. So that's a WH. Continuing around, here we have a little circle, so that's an E, just like this E. Then we have shallow divot with 3 dots. So R. And then another E doing that same trick. So W-H-E-R-E, where. And now we have this one, which, even though this one is a bit lower, it doesn't cross the center line, so this would be the first thing we read. So yeah, even though this one is kind of similar looking to this one was read first because it crosses that middle, but this one is read last because it doesn't cross the middle, and we have another thing here in this bottom quadrant. So anyway, this is our first letter, and it is a circle inside the circle with 1, 2, 3 lines, because this line, and this line. So 1, 2, 3 lines makes that an M. And then we have an E hanging out right in the middle of that. M-E. Continuing around here, we have another of the same stem. Let's count the lines. 1, this line. 2, 3. So that's another M. And then we have an O, because it's like a beat on a string, O. And then we continue around. This is the word circle. This is just a line coming from that I. And then this is the actual stem. So this is not a W. This could be a tricky looking W, but because this little circle's here, it makes it the line from the I. But 1, 2, 3 dots on the actual stem makes it an R. Then we have the I, E, and then 1, 2, 3 on this S. So this is memories. When I said tricky W, that's because this stem with 2 lines is a W, and it looks like it could be that, but it continues through. It's just the line from the I. Anyway, so memories, continuing around. Here we have this word circle Here's the first stem and only stem, and it is a deep divot with one line, so that is a G with an O on it, so that is go. So go, and then even though this one is kind of connected here, if we're to continue strictly left to right, this one is more left than this one, which is more left than this one, so it'd be this one, then this one, then this one. So here we have this word. There's nothing in that bottom quadrant, so, and this doesn't cross the middle, so we have nothing here to read until we get here. So this is our first stem with a big dot on it. So that is a W-H-E-N, one line on a circle inside the circle is the N, N. So W-H-E-N is when. And here's our next word, bottom of it, T. Even though this is enclosed looking on this word circle, it's on a totally different word. That's just kind of, connecting. So this vowel is on this word because it's on this word and not on this word. So T. Here we have a deep divot with two lines. So this line starts and ends here. So two lines makes that an H with an E in it. So E. So T-H-E. And then we have two dots on a circle on the line, Y. Then we have, I should click this. So a punctuation is normally hanging out on a punctuation circle, which is generally a big circle going around the whole thing. But things like apostrophes, they can connect directly to our word. So that's what these two lines are that don't do anything other than just connect here. So that would be an apostrophe for the there. So the they are there, the contraction there, yay, spelling. 1, 2, 3 dots on this shallow divot. Makes it an R with an E in the middle of it. So there, so they are, when they are. And then we have our last word, deep divot with 1, 2, 3 lines. Pass through doesn't count. So that is an F with an O on it. R, we should know that by now. Lots of R's. R. Then we have this, which has lots of line passing through it, right? But only one ending on it, so that's a G, just like this G, with an O, T, T, E, and then an N, just like this N, one line coming from it, because this one passes through. So forgotten. So stories are where memories go when they're forgotten. Woo! So that's this design. Yeah. And if I do end up doing another design for this, it will still, be the same rules and everything, but look way different, so I'll go through and do another explanation video for that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for commissioning me. Bye.